For anyone that's ever thought that I created the new Chicago wave, it's like, nah, I just listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to what the streets is saying.
You like amplified.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
amplified what you was hearing.
I can talk about it, and I know how to talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I don't try to take credit for things that everyone did. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everyone came together and was like, no, like this is necessary.
How y'all doing? Welcome. It's the Sumsumonig podcast. It's your boy howie.stackz, and we back for another one. I'm here with my boy, Thought Poet, man of many names, man of many talents. Glad to have you on here, man. I wanted to get you to slide through. I appreciate you sliding, man.
Cool, man. Shit. Every day's a gift. Trying to stay focused.
The new Chicago, right? So, I mean, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, the new Chicago wave. It's funny because there's been a lot of stories forming around, who started it, who's like spearheading it.
Yeah.
And
it was you?
No.
So it wasn't you?
It's funny because that's also been said, right? And,
okay.
I don't think I created it. There's been stories about Joel Q creating it.
Okay, yeah.
He created it. You know what I'm saying? The new Chicago wave was something that happened out of necessity. You know what I'm saying? 2020, the George Floyd riots were taking place. There was a lot of chaos.
Yeah, I remember.
This was the first time in my existence in Chicago. Never really went anywhere else for real. But this is my first time seeing artists and sex workers and organizers and OGs and YNs and intellectual black people and niggas. Like, we're all coming together,
yeah.
In the same spaces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was something that was very different. And so you started seeing a lot of spaces be held accountable for actions that have taken place over like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You saw a lot of people take steps back. You know what I'm saying? You saw a lot of people take steps forward, as far as like being present and doing this work. And so the new Chicago wave really started from community work and people really coming together because you had the mayor at the time really being a taskmaster. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so again, from 2020 to now, you've had really important moments that have taken place that have really rejuvenized the Chicago music scene. You know what I'm saying? So you had the Great Thinkers, which is an amazing team of artists and innovators and entrepreneurs. They really did their thing and, like, I dare say, recharged the scene. You know what I'm saying? Where people that were never about teamwork were starting to look at teamwork.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you had Renaissance of the Culture, which was curated and led by the artist Water, the historian Water.
Okay.
And that show was so important because that was the first time you saw those same crowds in the same room that I just spoke about.
Yeah.
Out for the George Floyd riots. You know what I'm saying? So you had real gangbangers with poles on them in the same room with intellectual people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Next to niggas that, really love hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And you have people like Jujilla, Panamera Pete, Tariq Hakeem, Golden Child, Freddie Oso, Rashid Hadid. Like, I can really go on. You have to remind people, like, this is not about being cool. This is not about clout. This is not about, trying to get your followers up. If you really give a shit about the future of Chicago, you're a part of the new Chicago wave. So if you really care about your children being able to go to school here and have a real life here, you know what I'm saying, once they get older, and you're doing everything you can, even if you're not in the music scene, like you going to fucking parent-teacher meetings, you know what I'm saying, and you really want the football team your child is on to succeed, you know what I'm saying, like you're a part of the new Chicago wave, you know what I'm saying, it's a mentality. And so I think that has been, I feel like that message has been kind of misconstrued here and there, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's all with good intentions. You You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, for anyone that's ever thought that I created the new Chicago, it's like, nah, I just listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to what the streets is saying.
You like amplified
you know
what?
Like,
amplified what you was hearing.
I can talk about it, and I know how to talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I don't try to take credit for things that everyone did. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everyone came together and was like, no, like this is necessary. Like you build it with you, and you build it with you. Like we need more of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like if you don't see it, then you might be the problem.
I do want to ask you how you feel about them shenanigans, man. Kanye.
Kanye?
I gotta know. I gotta know. Cause like, I mean, like he was a staple for me for a long time. And
I think Kanye is that uncle that you cool with, but you do too much and you gotta take doses.
Yeah.
How long you can be around him.
Mm-hmm.
And you love him. You love him, that's your uncle, but it's like, nigga, you can tweak, and when you tweak, it's no end of it. Like, you just kind of, you kind of be in that space for a little while. And I feel like, you know, we could be like, Kanye's dropping an album. This is what he does all the time, or Kanye really is trying to break the system, or whatever like that. But I think in real time, you know, it's to each his own.
Facts.
Man, and I feel like, you know, as much as I love Kanye, as much as, you know, being a part of the programs that allowed me to meet him and his mom when I was still in high school, even though I didn't get perfect attendance, even though that's the program I was able to meet him through, you know what I'm saying? I know that my, one of the people that I look up to was tweaking. And I think that's making it where we can't keep relying on what we thought was our heroes. We have to rely on ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think, I feel like if you wait on Kanye to come and, you know, save King Drive, you know what I mean?
It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen,
you know, build a school on 95th or some shit, like you might be waiting.
Yeah.
As opposed
we better off. Yeah.
With your homies and really being like, no, like, let's really do something that's never been done before. You know what I'm saying? But
being the change you want to see type shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I feel like bro always been in his bag of, you know, I can somehow understand him in the most interesting of ways on some. I feel like the way he acts is because of how he was treated in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's no excuse. But I feel like if you just look at his documentary and you like take him out of the documentary, right? And you just look at the documentary, that's explaining at least 40 years of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how we go connect with each other, how we can be on the same team and we both are producers and you get a placement in the Source magazine or whatever. And I'm gonna go to this radio interview and shit on you because I'm not where you at. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of energy.
That's that crabs in a barrel.
You know
like,
yeah. He dealt with. And I feel like, you know, at the time he dealt with them was a completely different just energy than even the blog era. You know what I'm saying? So it's like not trying to make no excuse, but it's like mentally that can play a toll on you. That could like really change you. And you know, that's one thing I would really love is as we keep going into the future of Chicago, we are prioritizing people's mental health. You know what I'm saying? Just as much as we are prioritizing everything else, because I know that have been in the music scene and they are no longer on this earth. And their only want was to get on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, we don't know what everyone's interpretation of get on means. Like if that means getting signed or, you know, getting a TikTok deal or whatever it is.
I mean, yeah, it's all subjective. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you know, being able to do it and still be able to check on you and be like, man, how are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like that's important also. You know, the world we live in right now is very questionable. You know what I'm saying? Like the government, the president, all like the president don't.
Elon Musk is fucking with the government.
I don't know the cuss, but yeah, the president don't rock with us. Like he rock with Chicago. Like he actually is on that, and I'm like, I'm here for the smoke. Right?
He got a beef with Priska. It's like a billionaire beef and shit. He constantly singling us out, talking about murders, national god, all that shit.
Like,
yeah.
I personally feel like our mayor did a very good job with not like
fielding that shit
out.
Yeah,
this man and his seat or what they call it, the house. Yeah, I feel like he because he could have crashed on them. Like they was trying.
Yeah,
they was trying, and I was just like. Yeah, he a real Chicago dude. Because I saw it in his face. I'm like, nah, he wouldn't say, nah, you got me fucked up.
Yeah. But you could feel the intensity behind what he was saying, but he was definitely answering like.
I mean, hey, he's a CPS teacher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta remember. Like, bro, he was
trained.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, with the CTU, you know what I mean? The Chicago teacher union. So, you know, CPS teachers, I feel like they built a little different. Yeah, you gotta be. You gotta be. You gotta be to deal with these youths out here, man. You know what I'm saying? You already know. That pain, that's the experiences that mold you, and then you turn it into something that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, one of the things I did want to talk to you about, I wanted you to talk to somebody about it, was the mural. Okay. The project was a photo essay, you know what I'm saying? I definitely know I'm one of the most talented photographers in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? But I tend to always want to build on a team, you know what I'm saying? And so the photo essay was me kind of just like diving off into my own little thing on some get this idea off. And the title of the essay is called Throwing Hands in the Shadow. And the whole concept is really just around, you know, what everyone deals with every day. Yes. So mental health, you know what I'm saying? Depression, envy, anger, feeling like you not, I guess, around your peers, like financially, you know what I'm saying? Feeling like you're behind. All of the things that a person will deal with negatively, and, you know, it's about how you do it, you know what I'm saying? And so I was very honored and privileged to work with artists like Solar 5, Stock Marley, K by Dean, You, Maria the Second, Asha Omega, Golden Child, DJ Hustlenomics, and these artists and individuals also represent the new Chicago way, and that is based off of a concept that's centered around collaboration and unity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Chicago has really been disconnected for the last 40 years when we talk about not just music, but like culture, art. It's a segregated city, man. It's a highly segregated city. About, I know someone that's in Chinatown as opposed to someone that lives in the Hunnids. Those are two different universes. You know what I'm saying? Facts. So, you know big facts, so, yeah. You know, bringing those individuals together was me and themselves realizing just how much history was in one space. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. People like Solar 5 helped Mick Jenkins, you know, with the Waters Project. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah. You have people like Asha Omega that was already a force, you know what I'm saying? But she's been mentored by people like K Love and Fanon, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Golden Child, you know what I'm saying? His father is the one who created Soldiers of War. And he also just so happened to be the dude who beat Jay-Z and DMX freestyling at one of those like really well-known concerts like back in the day. So it's hella history. Like a Summer Jam type? Around those artists. You know? Most people wouldn't know. I honestly did not realize what was happening until I actually saw it, which I think really? Really? I just saw it and I was like, this looks like an Avengers poster. Like it looks very, it's very powerful. You know? And we submitted it for a Pulitzer. No shit. At the end of last year, and at first I was very, I was like, no, I don't want to do shit else with this. On some like, you know, people tried to lie on me and do all types of shit when that came out. So it was like a lot of amazing attention. There was a lot of negative attention. But the Chicago Sun-Times also did a review on it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they realized like, no, you just got haters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, that's how it be, man. Yeah. That's how it be for real. It was like seeing once again, artists like King by Demon, I know I bring him up a lot, but like, bro, really was one of those that were there, like telling me to just stay focused. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when we got to Chicago, sometimes he was there. When we submitted for the Pulitzer, he was like one of the first people I told, and he was just like, bro, like, I'm proud of you. Because I wasn't really trying to do anything but let my truth be known at the time and just stay out the way. So I don't like negative attention like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I come from, you know, the South Side, so I'll be ready to throw hands. I'll be tired of talking that time. So, you know, he just telling me like, don't take it personal. Him and Solar 5 just kept telling me, don't take it personal. Stay focused.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very proud of that body of work. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going to happen. I know next week they're going to announce the Pulitzer winners.
Oh, okay. So we got fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for sure.
Yeah, fingers crossed for sure.
If it doesn't happen, I'm actually just happy that we even submitted on some. I'm really born and raised in Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a hood nigga at heart, but I'm a artsy shelter kid. You know what I'm saying? So even thinking submitting a Pulitzer was possible, it was not on my to-do list on some. Again, Gabrielle London, shout out to her. She was just like, no, like you get in the paper like every month. We should submit something. I was like, you're right, but you think that's good enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think that whole process really just made me look at my own artistry and realize that what I give to the city, to the world, it's very unique. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it definitely is. I definitely see it. I see, I like how I consider myself a historian as well. Maybe not necessarily a Chicago historian, but, you know, just maybe a general like world, United States and Black historian, you know what I'm saying? And like, I want to know the why, like where it comes from and why we doing what we doing and like, and what cycles should we know about so we don't have to repeat them, you know what I'm saying? You see like the theme of like community with you, you know, and so like you're pretty active in the community and you're from Inglewood?
No, so I'm actually from Chatham.
Okay.
91st and St. Lawrence, right across the street from Tulip Park. Yeah, I was born out west. I think my grandparents moved me and my two siblings over there around like the age of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say from there, that's when, you know, like I'll be honest with you, I didn't really understand what it meant to be from Chatham. You know what I'm saying? Like I honestly thought being born and raised from Chicago, at one point I wasn't proud of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have a lot of family to teach me, you know, what was before me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So being in different creative spaces throughout the years, I just found a way to love my city. You know what I'm saying? And so being from China, I also have to realize that was like a blessing on some like, you know, people name drop communities like Chatham, Marble Gresham, Pullman. You normally talk about the Black excellence that's connected to these communities on some. You have like multiple generations of Black families living in these communities. You know what I'm saying? And so, even building with artists currently like Hits and Jubilee and Zachariah, you know what I'm saying? Like they're all from Chatham as well. You know, I got a very Tyler Perry type of like vibe. You know,
to be black in America. You feel me?
My grandparents adopted me when I was little. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, my grandmother, she was an artist, you know, teacher, soft sculpture, doll maker.
Oh wow!
And my grandfather, you know, he was a singer. He also worked in education. So, you know, growing up, I felt like they did their very best to teach me. You know what I'm saying? But I was also sheltered as a kid. So it was like, I felt like I learned the history about other people more than my own history. So I was always reading like Gordon Parks' work. You know what I'm saying? I was always looking at like work from Langston Hughes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of like Renaissance era or like just different Renaissance eras, like in general. So like I went to high school, I started like, I already peeped it, but I started realizing like I was kind of different than other people, you know what I'm saying, that I was around. And most of it was just because, you know, family, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so, you know, being more into the scene over the years, I started kind of being okay with that. You know what I'm saying? It has its own traumas and stuff like that, but I think I wouldn't be who I am right now if it wasn't for understanding my family dynamic.
When you're talking about your grandparents, I could see that they kind of like molded you with those like creative tendencies coming from them as well. But when you're speaking, I could sense like there's a little pain behind it. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I mean, bottom line is, you know, like I said, my family isn't the most closest group of people. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I've even just this year, you know what I'm saying, had interaction with my family where it didn't end well. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's a interesting feeling, kind of knowing you out here by yourself, but not really. You know what I'm saying? I tend to pray for my chosen family. You know what I'm saying? A lot, and yeah, kind of move from there. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't often. I try not to dwell too much on, you know, a broken family dynamic, because I feel like I'm better off than other folks. You know what I'm saying? I just understand that what I build into is very much so from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily, you know, I don't got an uncle or aunt, you know what I'm saying, that could be like, hey,
Facts.
I believe in you, like, here, take this and do blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I feel you on that, man. Actually, there's a couple things, like you said, you was born out west. I was born out west too. You know what I'm saying? My family, I was estranged from my family for a long time. So I actually really, I can understand that dynamic, and, you know, like building something from the ground up. This is, you know, meeting these guys, met them in college. We kind of built this from the ground up. We was all fucked up together. You know what I'm saying? Like, we met each other when we had beds on wires and shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, now for our kids to be running around screaming, you know what I'm saying? Like I could definitely relate to what you're saying, because it's like, you gotta be like, just sometimes it's like, this ain't enough or that ain't enough, but it's like, I still gotta be grateful, you know what I'm saying? So
being vulnerable with the content they put out, I see people wanting to grow, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And contribute in their own way. So I think the next generations are very much so paying attention to what we're doing. And I feel like, what do you want to call it? Millennials, Gen Z, Gen Y, whatever. I feel like our generations are like getting it. It's like, oh damn, like we really are the ones now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's up to us. Yeah, it's up to us. We the adults now.
For us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think if folks like you, folks like myself, continue to do the work, that's what's gonna be the change in this city. So,
definitely, man. You know, it's crazy times we're living in, man. You know, and you hear what he's saying. My boy said it himself. Your story needs to be heard. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't realize that vulnerability takes a lot of bravery. You know what I'm saying? Like, people put themselves out there on Front Street. It actually takes a lot of courage to formulate like your personal struggles and put them out there for people to just digest in their own way. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, I think it's commendable to continue to push that forward and create spaces for that. You know what I'm saying? And also give people a wide range of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you for sliding through. I appreciate you, man. It was definitely a blessing for sure. You know what I'm saying? Been trying to get you through. You know what I mean? You see the kids screaming. You know what I'm saying? They want to get on the pod too. You know what I mean? Like, definitely. So shoot. So for the somebodies that don't know who Thought Poet already is, why don't you tell them where they can find you at?
Yeah,
find some of your work.
So you find me on social media at Thought Poet. So like, I'm having a Thought Poet 77. You follow on Social Aesthetics at Unsocial AES. Yeah, you can catch up on all the things we got going on. We got open mic coming up, shows coming up, albums about to drop. yeah, we out here working. So.
For sure. All right, somebodies, appreciate y'all. We gonna wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the swim team. Shout out to my boy A-Lo Boot. He back there with the crying babies. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So it's a challenge, but we here. We still getting it. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Okay? You want to edit some shit in there, Chris? Yeah, okay. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy howie.stackz. We signing off.
Why you putting up a wall again? She don't wanna talk, but she talking to her friends. You don't read the room and I got your place read. I ain't trying to gaslight, but this is in your head.